You're watching ChillyBoy Productions. I'm Larry ChillyBoy Chillson, and this is my review for Out of Darkness. Now, before we get into this review, make sure to go ahead and click that subscribe button down below so that you can chill with me on each and every one of my latest videos. So Out of Darkness was the January 29th Scream unseen film for AMC theaters. All we knew this time was that it was going to be an R-rated film, the runtime, and that it would fall under the horror genre. And as a horror fan, I was super excited. We have one next week as well, which I think we all kind of know what it's going to be, but it also falls under the horror genre, so keep the Scream unseens coming for my personal taste. But as for Out of Darkness, this is a 2024 horror drama set to release in theaters on February 9th, directed by Andrew Cumming. Around 45,000 years ago, a desperate band of early humans find a new land to settle in. As they start to realize that something monstrous is hunting them down, they must confront a horrifying danger that they could have never imagined. The film stars Safia Oakley-Green, Kit Young, Chukwumodu, and Iola Evans. So Out of Darkness has actually had quite the interesting road to release because it initially premiered back in 2022 at the BFI London Film Festival under the name The Origin. The film then had subsequent small releases either at smaller film festivals or smaller screenings throughout 2023. And in May 2023, Bleecker Street actually acquired the film from Stage 6 Films for North American distribution. And in October 2023, Bleecker Street announced the February 9th release date for North American audiences. Out of Darkness also marks the feature-length film debut for director Andrew Cumming and was nominated for 5 British Independent Film Awards in 2023. Now, I didn't know any of this heading into tonight's screening. I pretty much had sussed out what the film was going to be. I had seen the trailer, I think, once, possibly twice in movie theaters before tonight's Scream unseen at AMC, but I wanted to go in as blind as possible. And ultimately, I really quite enjoyed Out of Darkness. Not really what I was anticipating. It takes some risks within the film that I wasn't anticipating even as I watched it. But ultimately, I left the theater having quite enjoyed Out of Darkness. So let's go ahead and talk about the positives first. This is an absolutely stunning film on pretty much every single filmmaking technical aspect. The entire production side of this film is immaculate. The cinematography is gobstoppingly beautiful. And it's so good because it adapts to what's needed in the moment. We have shaky cam, we have this really frenetic style, and then we have these huge, beautiful, sweeping shots over the landscapes, capturing the atmosphere of everything. These inventive styles of moving the camera. Oh gosh, the cinematography is amazing. The editing is amazing in this film, and the direction is beautiful. I appreciated so much of what Andrew Cumming did behind the camera, putting this film all together to create this atmospheric, tense prehistoric times. This atmospheric, tense, super, super far gone period piece. And then we get to the original score, which is haunting and really impactful. The sound design itself is amazing, and the makeup work is fantastic. The costuming is also very good, though a bit basic, but the color toning, the actual atmosphere of the scenes themselves, it's all done so, so well. A technical achievement from top to bottom on a relatively small film and budget. I also do believe our actors do a very good job with the material given. I think everybody in our cast, it's not a large cast by any means, but everybody top to bottom gives a solid performance. And this film really excels in atmosphere, just kind of like building up an atmosphere and kind of keeping you always a little bit on edge as we move throughout. And what they do so well, once again, kind of harkening back to the technical aspects, is never show too much. It's like it's one of those type of smaller films that never shows what's just beyond, that lets the negative space tell its own story. They also created their own language for this film. It is a completely original language for this group of people, these early humans in the film. And that's just astounding that they were able to create an entire screenplay's worth of this language, and everybody delivered it so well. It's almost unbelievable that this is a brand new invented language. And it's short. This is under an hour and a half long, just under. And that's the perfect length for a film like this. Any longer, and I think it would have overstayed its welcome, because there's a couple moments where we dip in progress as we watch. However, it gives you time to care just enough about these characters to try to unravel, to really set the stage without just kind of belaboring the point. So then, what doesn't work so well when it comes to Out of Darkness? Well, really, my big complaint is that I don't believe it should be marketed as a horror film. This is very much in the vein of A24's horror films that they produce by and large. And it's very much in vein of the ones that they market as horror films, and then everybody leaves those A24 movies angry because they're not getting the type of horror film that they wanted. A24 is very infamous for this marketing strategy and then people being very upset leaving the movie theater. And I think they've really tried to market this. Obviously, it was at a Scream Unseen, a horror themed version of the mystery movie for AMC. They're trying to make this a horror movie to the general audience, and it's tense. They build that atmosphere, but I'd say it's more of an atmospheric drama thriller than it truly is like a horror film in the sense that many people are going to interpret that. And in saying that, once we get the reveal in this film, it's a bit of a double-edged sword. I obviously will not talk about that reveal, but I think it brings up a lot of really interesting ideas. But then it also is one of those that makes you kind of backtrack through the film and think of everything you know and kind of go, some of this is a little bit dumb. I don't know if I fully buy it. So I think for the bigger picture, it's impactful, but for the actual screenplay and story you're telling, not so great. But overall, I was able to get on board with what the film was giving. Keep in mind, I usually like those atmospheric, kind of tense dramas that A24 markets as horror films. So that probably could attribute quite a bit to why I also really quite enjoyed this film as well. Plus, it's impossible not to appreciate the absolute craftsmanship that is put to the screen here because it's just such a well-made film. I certainly don't think it's going to be for everyone. If you're heading into this film thinking horror, I honestly think you're going to walk out feeling disappointed. But if you go in with an open mind and let that atmosphere sweep over you, I think you're going to have a good time with Out of Darkness. Not for everyone, but for those of you that give it a chance, I think there's a lot to like here. So that is my review for Out of Darkness. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below and subscribe to the channel so that you are always up to date on all of my latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Did you also see Out of Darkness at the Scream Unseen at AMC? Did you see it in any of its premiere dates over the past 2 years before it got released in North America? Or have you never even heard of this film? Let me know all of your thoughts either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Mwah. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.